Hey, what's good, everybody? How's everybody doing? All you adventurers out there, you're in for a treat. I'm over here at the lovely historic Richmond town in Staten Island. I'm going to give you guys a glimpse at these beautiful landmarked buildings in this lovely landmarked town. I'm going to give you guys a look at some gorgeous buildings, as well as a little glimpse of the Carnegie Hall quintet who's performing here today. So we're gonna get some festivities, little history, some beautiful architecture. Come on, let's go for a stroll. This building here before us was built in the early 1800s and was in use until the year of 1948 as a courthouse and a county jail. So the concert is about to begin, but before we get a look at the music, or get to hear the music, I should say, what do you say we go and take a look at the courthouse? Yeah, let's go. I did a stream here before, but it was late, nothing was open, and we're about to go inside the courthouse, folks. Beautiful light fixtures. Look at that. Now, a lot of renovation went on, of course, but I imagine these wooden staircases are all original. And this courthouse is funded and receives public support from the New York State Council of the Arts, as well as the Borough President's Office, the Department of Cultural Affairs, the New York City Council, and the City of New York in general. Very cool. Step back in time with us. Historic Richmond town. Guys, if you're in New York City, take the ferry over here, hop on a train, and come check out this town. We're about to go see the whole thing. I don't want to spend too much time in here, but if you want to know about the history of this courthouse and the district, this landmark district in general, as well as all the buildings that are placed here, you can give this little billboard a read. Again, there was a jail in this courthouse, where they would temporarily put people in as they awaited trial. There's a little bit on courthouse architecture, the architecture of this courthouse, which I must say it's a really pretty building. And again, it was active until 1948. Wow. And it was completed, the building was built in 1837. Like I said, 1800s, early 1800s to mid 1800s. The concert is gonna take place there by the general store, which I'm gonna see if I can enter. Yeah, the door's open. Wow. Oh, cool. A lot of old trees over here too, which is cool. Here's the general store. Fine groceries and provisions. and black. Cool. Very nice. Let's get a glimpse. They're closing up because the concert's about to start. So I didn't make it in time, damn it. But I've been in there and there's a lot of cool things on display. Old commercial products, cigarettes, candy. Here we have the printing store. If you needed something printed, I'd imagine the city even would print some newspapers out of these small little shops here that have printing machines inside them. I've been in here. That printing machine inside is still working. It's still working. Unbelievable. It's like these old machines, they last forever. Oh yeah, can't walk past here without mentioning the carpenter's building. Every town had a carpenter. They usually lived in their workshop. Fireplace. There's the bathhouse. Now, some of these homes, like I said, were transported here, but some were not, like that one and this one. Nice Victorian, sort of like a neo-Gothic, or not really sure. Looks like a Victorian style of architecture. A lot of these buildings are colonial, like that one and that one. Now this place is actually a functioning diner. Beautiful outdoor patio set. They serve wraps, sandwiches, coffee, quesadillas, waffles, smoothies, salads. And as you can see, the top of the building is a little dilapidated compared to the bottom, which is still functioning as a coffee shop and diner with a small menu. Very cool. It's an old building, guys. Old building. Very cool. There's air conditioning in there. Nice. All right, let's we got a lot to see here, guys. Wow. This was the site of a famous pizzeria over here on the corner. 1927. Wow. Wow. Pizzeria went down in 66. All right, here we have the Staten Island Historical Society Museum. Again, very old building. I'm not sure it was always a museum. I'm sure it served as something else. Perhaps a county clerk house, according to the sign here. Yep. 1848, guys, this building. It's been here since 1848. It's a museum now, but if you see the sign, County Clerk, Surrogate's Office, 1848. Check out the horse stand. People would lasso their horses onto those posts. Now this train car place here is fairly new. It was built just maybe not even 10 years ago. And it served as a prop for the movie Boardwalk Empire. I should say the HBO television series, which ran for a couple of seasons. And yeah, they used it for the movie as a diner. Now Edgar's franchised ice cream shop purchased it. And yeah, it's a functioning ice cream parlor. All right, just ahead, this building here was transported from Newdorp in Staten Island, which is about 15 minutes away from here. This was the train station. And they brought it over here. You know, this district here is kind of, it's partially a museum. And it's also a historic place that was once a functioning town. So yeah, the building's a little it could use a little restoration. But it's nice to see. And sometimes, you know, they're more charming in their old withered state. Now this here was built, these little huts here were built to pay homage to the way the Lenape used to live. And they lived in these straw huts. And in Staten Island, we get a lot of pampas grass, or I should say phragmites. And the stalks are pretty sturdy. And they were useful for building shelters. And whoever built this did a really great job. This thing is just stunning. Inside there's wood, places where people can rest and sit. These stalks are kind of waterproof, so it helped shield people from the rain. They would cook in fire pits. Now, one day, I need to come back here and do the tour, the official tour. There's no tour going on today because of the music concert. But you can come here over and over and expect something different every time. Every single time. There's always a theme. If you come here during Christmas, they open up the old schoolhouse there across the street. If you can see it. The Vorlees Schoolhouse, which is the oldest schoolhouse in the United States that is still standing. I don't believe this is the original spot. Not sure. Sometimes you can tell just by the foundations. But let me cross the street now before I get stuck because it's a high traffic area. It's very possible that this is the original location. Nevertheless, it's the original building. Again, guys, the oldest schoolhouse public schoolhouse, still standing in North America. And there used to be a sign here, which is no longer. A lot of these homes were repainted. And there we have the Christopher House. Can you believe we're in New York City, folks? This is the Bohm House. You know what? I gotta look this place up. This is one of the homes I don't really know much about. 1750, guys. Colonial architecture. Looks like the foundation and the remnants of an old home that used to stand here. An old building. These I'm sure were put here. The anchor, the cannon. But that foundation is original. Something used to stand here that has since collapsed and perished due to the sands of time. Built circa 1700. The building has served many functions over the centuries. Used to be a bakery. Now the original family that immigrated from Germany, Klaus Holtermann, established this bakery. You can still find the bakery down the street, just 2 minutes away. They since relocated, but this is the original spot. But then during the war, during the Revolutionary War, this became a treasure house and was taken over by British soldiers, where they stored coins here during the Revolutionary War. This is where they stored their money. That's why it's called a treasure house. It's a very high traffic area. You would never think it. That's Staten Island for you. You got a mix of rural. You got a mix of lush greenery and urban chaos. All right, here we have St. Andrew's Cemetery. Again, this place has been here since the 1700s. All right. And yes, it was a church, and it is once again a church. But there was a period in time when this place was occupied by British soldiers during the Revolutionary War. And they used this as a place to store ammunition and all their ammo and their weapons. And there was a firefight that took place right in front of that church, resulting in several deaths. I believe American soldiers. So a lot has gone down here, guys, a lot. 1708. It's a beautiful church made with, I believe, field stone, common field stone. Architecture kind of reminds me of Romanesque architecture. A lot of prominent citizens of New York City were buried here. You know, politicians, some wealthy people, doctors, lawyers. These gravestones are so old that all the engravings are no longer legible. Some of the graves have been, I should say the tombstones have been replaced, but just some. A lot of these people, their relatives are dead. They're all passed away. There's also a pet cemetery up there. And this is where the firefight took place during the Revolutionary War in 1776. 20 prisoners were taken inside. Yep, American soldiers, yep. October 16, 1776. 20 prisoners, 2 Americans were killed. They don't say who, but they say who was wounded. And this is also the burial plot of St. Elizabeth Bailey Seton. There's a big hospital here in Staten Island named after her. Every Halloween they do a nice party in here. But yeah, this is the original church, man. 1700s. Early 1700s. 1701. It's a long time ago. Alright guys, I fast forwarded a little bit. There's the cemetery. I want to give you guys a look at the corn mill. Pretty cool. Monarch Butterfly Meadow. This was built here to support migrating monarch butterflies. This little meadow here. Oh, and there's one right there. Look at that. See the butterfly? Good job. Hey, there's another one. Wow. All right, here we have the inn and store. This here used to be an inn. The top floor was a hotel, bottom a bar. And even today, they reopen this building during special events, holidays. And it was owned by a man named J. Guillaume, Frenchman. Now this house here was the home of a broom maker, and they since restored it. As you can see, everything is new. Not everything, but the roof. But the roof is new. But not all of these homes have been restored fully. Maybe not recently, as you can see there. And there we have the mill, Dunn's Mill, which served as a corn mill. And during the tours, they let you in and they show you the grinder, the miller, the corn mill. It's pretty cool inside there. A lot of tools, old tools that they use to refine corn and turn it into corn flour. All right, folks. What do you say we go listen to some music? The concert's about to start.
these songs were composed between 1908 and 1910, which was only a year away from when Paul Dukas wrote La Pyrrhie, and was only 2 years before Stravinsky wrote The Rite of Spring, which was premiered in 1913. In case anybody was wondering, which you probably weren't. So anyway, you're welcome. So now we're moving on to a more contemporary song. This was written by David Chesky, who is a jazz pianist. He moved to New York City in the mid-1970s and worked as a pianist, as a performing musician, and then also as a composer, writing a lot of really interesting music. This particular piece was written for another of sort of the founding brass ensembles called the Empire Brass, and there is a version that exists for brass quintet and orchestra, but we didn't bring our orchestra with us today, so maybe next time. Anyway, this is called Central Park Morning.
Well, guys, that about sums it up, man. It's hot. It's getting hot. 80 degrees. You walk 40 minutes, it's going to catch up to you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying these walks, the bits of history, the music, the sun, and everything in between. Hit the like and the sub if you can. It would help me out. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, this is Antonio, signing off.